also as a person. And you know, the only person of the Trinity the world has seen is only the Son. Is only the Son that the world has seen. The world has not seen the Father. The world has not seen the Holy Spirit. But the Father exists, and the Holy Spirit exists. Jesus came, and because Jesus was limited, because he was man, he was limited. Why? Because he was a man. And he stayed only in one locality, just one tiny place in the world. In the Middle East. In an area that has undergone so much transition. Sometimes they were called Palestine. Then the Jewish people. Then the kingdom of Judah and the kingdom of Samaria. So that was where he acted. And for how long did he stay there? Just for 3 years during his ministry. Of course, he was 33 years by the time he died. And because of that, he was limited in time. But he knew that. He knew that he was not going to be with the world forever. And while he was preparing to leave, if you read from John's Gospel, chapter 14, begin to read from verse 10, you will see what Jesus said. I'll read the whole verses from chapter 14 from verse 10. And what did he say there? He says, "Do you not believe that I am in the Father, and the Father is in me?" He was asking his disciples. "The words that I speak to you, I do not speak on my own authority, but the Father who dwells in me does his works." So while he was here on earth, he didn't just do whatever that came to him. It was the work of the Father, the words of the Father, the instruction given by the Father that he gave to the world. He says, "Believe that I am in the Father, and the Father in me. Or else, believe me for the sake of the works themselves." Because most of the people didn't believe. Then he says in verse 12, "Most assuredly I said to you, he who believes in me, the works that I do, he will do also. And greater works than these he will do, because I go to the Father." He was telling them that he was not going to stay much longer. But he had just come to empower them, to prepare them, to get them ready. Because after a short time, he was going back to the Father. But not just going to the Father to forget the word for which he came. He says, "And whatever you ask in my name." So whenever you are making a request, whenever you are making your prayer, that's why we make our prayer through Jesus Christ our Lord. Whatever you ask in my name, that I will do, that I will do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son. Then, if you ask anything in my name, I will do it. If you ask anything, so when you are praying, do not doubt. Because the prayer of somebody that doubts is, like James said, like somebody who is looking in the mirror, looking at his face. And immediately after he takes away his eyes from the mirror, he forgets what he looks like. And then that's why he goes to the mirror a second time, a third time, a fourth time. After women and men prepare to come to church, they keep on going back to the mirror. They keep going back to the mirror. But they have just seen themselves, but they forget immediately. Then they go back to the mirror to make sure that they are still who they are. That's why they go to the mirror. And this is what Christ is saying to us here. "And whatever you ask in my name, that I will do, that the Father may be glorified. If you ask anything in my name, I will do it. If you love me, keep my words and my commandments." Then in verse 16, he says, "And I will ask my Father, when I go back to him, beg him. I will plead with him. I will pray to him. And he will give you another helper. Praise the Lord. Amen. Because he couldn't continue to be a helper when he was here on earth because of the limitations. He was in Palestine. He didn't come to Agolo. I never saw Agolo in the Bible. Neither is there Owerri or Port Harcourt. Everything in the Bible is centered around that location where Jesus operated as a man. But he knew that that limitation was there. And he had made plan ahead of how he would take care of every other person that wasn't touched by that visit. And what was that plan? I will ask my Father when I go, and he will send a helper that he may abide with you forever. Somebody that will stay with you forever, who will never depart again. So the Holy Spirit is the Godhead that God has stationed permanently here on earth to take care of it. It's like you have a community, and the community is suffering because of a crime of other thieves coming to do something that disturbs the community. And what does the government do? We are going to send a police post to that place so that policemen will start living in that community and they will become a terror to criminals. So that's what Jesus planned and did and executed. I will ask God and he will send a helper to all of you. And that when that helper comes, he will not go. He's the one that will stay with you forever. God is in heaven. Jesus has gone back to heaven. But the third person of the Holy Trinity has his residence here on earth. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. And he is there with you, and he will abide with you forever. And that person is the Spirit of truth. So the Spirit of truth is abiding with us, whom the world cannot receive, because it neither sees him nor knows him, but you know him. You and I know him, for he dwells with you and will be in you. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. So that we are operating in the age and time of the Holy Spirit. And that was what we celebrated last Sunday. The coming of the Holy Spirit. The Pentecost. When he came and empowered the apostles and the disciples and transformed them and removed their fear and removed the intimidation that the people had put in them and set them free and fired them up. And they lost the fear and became bold, and that was how the gospel of Jesus began to spread and continued to spread until that gospel came to us. And now that we have the gospel, we are also going to send the gospel out. The fire that God has put in our hands will not quench in our hands. Or will it quench in our hands? No. Because we received, we have to give out. And how do we give out? How do we give out the gospel we have received? It's not just enough that we come and celebrate the Trinity and celebrate the Pentecost and celebrate the Ascension and celebrate the coming of Jesus, which is the Christmas, and celebrate his death, which is Easter, and after that we remain as we are. That's not the purpose. That's not the intention. That's not what God intended. It's like a relay race. A relay, you know what is a relay? When you are running, 4 people running, you take your baton and run a good race. And at the end, you hand over to somebody else. And the person continues to run. And then they hands over to the third person. And then the 4th person runs until he gets to the finishing point. And when you get to the finishing point and you have made a good race, you win the prize. But if the race stops in your own hands, and either you were clumsy and didn't get the baton well, you have seen it in races, where the first person ran like a deer, and then handed over to somebody who was clumsy, and he dropped the baton. That race is always destroyed. And some people overtake them. So as God has fired the disciples on the day of Pentecost, and they continue to fire other people, And then the fire continued until the fire came to us. The fire will not burn and they will quench in our time, but the fire will continue to live. In Jesus' name. Amen. And that's who you are. And that's who I am. We are in the hands of the Holy Spirit. And if you look at what we have just read in the gospel, before I close, look at the gospel where we read our gospel lesson today. And then it says, Jesus said to the disciples, I still have many things to say to you. So much things I will say to you, but you cannot bear them now. If I tell you, you may not understand. If I continue to say it, time may not even permit. You can't bear them now. But when the Spirit of truth comes, when the Spirit of truth comes, He will guide you into all truth. My own is just like an introduction. I've just come to prepare you, to tell you about the Father, to show you the way to go to the Father. But I don't have enough time to finish my lessons or all the things I've come to do. Because somebody is coming. And when the Spirit of truth comes, He will guide you into all truth. For He will speak not on His own. Remember, the God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit, they are three persons working together of one substance and have one purpose. When the Spirit comes, what He hears from me and the Father, He will give to you. He will speak whatever He hears, and He will declare to you the things that are to come. He will glorify me, because He's going to introduce me, and He's coming on my behalf. He will glorify me, because He will take what is mine and declare it to you. And what is Jesus? What Jesus has is what He Himself also has got from the Father. And this is what He's saying here. All that the Father has is mine. All that the Father has is mine. And what I have, I'm going to give to the Holy Spirit. And what the Holy Spirit has, He will give to you. Do you see it now? So we are directly connected to the Father. It's one message coming from the Father through Jesus Christ, through the Holy Spirit, into your heart. There's no dilation. There's no dilution. There is no breaking of contact. It's straight from the Father. So the message you are hearing now, which is by the power of the Holy Spirit, is the message that has come from the Father through our Lord Jesus Christ, through the Holy Spirit, into your heart. Why would we not hold it so tightly to our hearts? Because this is the word of life. This is the word of God. And God has prepared it specially how it will come to us. All that the Father has is mine. For this reason I said, He will take what is mine and declare it to you. So my brothers and sisters, anytime we come in the presence of God, we are feeding on the word which God has prepared for us that day. That's what we have today. And it's word of life. It's word of truth. Because it's come from the Holy Spirit, the Spirit of truth, and the Spirit of Jesus, and the Spirit of the Father. He's the Spirit that will be with us at the end of the age. And you will never have too much of Him. As much of Him as you want, He will come into your heart. If you want Him to live permanently in your family, to be with your children, to be in your business, to be in your car, to be wherever you are going, He's ready. He's ready. So it's only us that we are changing ourselves. Because sometimes we make a barrier and say, this is an area. You go. You don't come into this one. You don't come into this one. And He will obey you. Because He will never force you. Jesus said, I stand at the door of your heart and I'm knocking. If anyone should hear my voice and open, I will come in, and when I come in, I'll do what? I sup with him. He will feed with you. And if he's feeding with you, he's your friend. An enemy will not come to your house and start feeding with you. He's a friend that will come and stay as much as you like. So the celebration of the Trinity is not just by word of mouth. It's by activity and by faith. And for us to believe that what God is telling us is true. Because God cannot lie to us. God cannot lie to us. Look at the Psalm we read. What is man? That is what the psalmist is asking. In Psalm number 8. Go back to it quickly and we close. He says, from verse 5, what is man that you should be mindful of him? Who are we that the Almighty God should care so much about us? Or the Son of Man that you should seek him out? Look at, you made him a little lower than the angels, and you adore him with glory and honor. You give him mastery over the works you created, the works of your hand. Look at God creating the whole world and giving the world to man, to manage. What we have just read in Genesis chapter 1, 26 to 28. May we all stand.